Hello, hello. Welcome to today's midday or late morning live stream. I know I never go live this early, but I know I cannot commit to a live stream tonight because number one, I'm doing orientation, and number two, I'm going to go hang out with my hubby and go to the movies. So I didn't even plan to go live today, but I'll tell you something. When I think about mentorship and I think about building community, which if you are out there and you are part of my world, you know, like I believe that is one of the foundations that we should be focusing on when we are deciding to make money online and start an online business for ourselves, is that you want to build community. But building community is about so much more than just, a base for continuous business. Community oftentimes gets you out of this bubble that you're in this all by yourself, or right, like you keep having these conversations with yourself. And so, communicating and having a conversation with one of my community members today, it absolutely triggered today's live stream. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, it's so needed. And I knew that if I waited to do this at a later time, like my passion, my interest, like my inspiration behind this would just simply not be the same. So the beautiful thing with YouTube and live streams is that I can live stream and it doesn't even matter if no one's here with me, because what? The magic is in the replay, right? The magic is in repurposing. The magic is in the fact that YouTube could still push this out to people that, need to see this information or that want to see this information. And so what was most important to me was to actually get this information out. And as you can tell by the title of this live stream, like it is not a joking matter, right? Deciding to grow an online business is no longer a luxury. And when you hear what I'm going to break down for you, it's going to likely cause you to think about why you are pursuing an online business, why you are venturing into this world of making money online. And it's going to likely have you questioning how serious you really are about this endeavor at this time in your life. I have notes, and like right now I feel called to kind of jump ahead to a point to lead into this instead of where I initially had it. But I'm 49 years old, right? My husband is 52. I've been online for 16 years. So I started my online business 16 years ago, which would have made me right around 33 years old, right? Our kids were very little. We're talking about like kindergarten, sub-kindergarten, right? And, maybe first or second grade. All right. So I started my online business while my kids were very, very little. And back then, and if you've been around for any length of time, you probably can totally attest to this. But back in the day, right, 16 years ago, having an online business and learning how to make money online was very much so a flex. It's like we were flaunting the lifestyle and we were desiring to make money online and desiring to start these online businesses to prove that we could do it, to prove that we could make money outside of having a job. And some of us even snubbed people that had jobs, and we poo-pooed it. And our perception and our, what's the word I want to use? Like our whole idea around having an online business or learning how to make money online was very skewed, right? It was not always the best intended. I remember when I first got started, right? There were tons of these young guys all over the place flaunting their cars, their vacations, pictures with all of these gorgeous girls on the beach and all of these, like it was very much so different. Now, I'm not saying that's not still going on out there. I don't really know if it is, but I know that's what I experienced, right? And so you instantly fall into this way of believing like, oh, it's a flex. Like I got to start making money so I can actually show people that I'm making money, that this actually works, right? Like sometimes you don't think that that's what you do. But as I look back and compare starting an online business and beginning to make money then, and the basis of a lot of what I did and how I did it, right, compared it to now, like my motive is very, very different. The heart behind why I do what I do, very, very different. And where it was more like a luxury, to be quite honest, when I first got started, like it was, right? Like I was working for myself anyways, right? I was working full-time as a nurse. Financially, we were like not in a good place when I started my online business. So my online business, right, helped to bring in some really great discretionary income. And it really began to like pave the way and a path that I could actually do this entrepreneurial thing, right? But it very much so was a luxury. It wasn't a gotta. And I made all the wrong decisions when I left being a nurse and decided to pursue this full time. Like I made all the wrong decisions at all the wrong time. Eventually I did get to a place where I was able to replace that income and, surpass it, but I just went about it all wrong. Like we won't even talk about that here. But back then, very much so a luxury. And you kind of got that vibe from a lot of people that were in the space back then as well. It was a luxury. It was something about vacationing. It was about buying the cars. It was about flexing, screenshots of how much money you're making. And yes, I know people still do that, right? But it was very much so a flex and a luxury. My heart now, the way that I look at it, and I think a lot of people are starting to look at it the same way. At least the people I follow, because the people I follow are very, very like well-intent people, like they're doing what they do for the right reasons, is it's the fact that it's no longer a luxury, right? When you think about the economy, and a lot of times the circles that you roll in, right? So I'm 49, so I naturally attract a lot of people that are my age and or older. Yes, I attract younger people as well. And I hope this can be like a warning call out to you. Like, that's fantastic. Your kids are little and you're doing all these things right now. But I will tell you at a blink of an eye, your kids are grown and you're sitting at home and you're like, well, I guess now I got to get on with my life. And you realize maybe how serious you did not treat your retirement or treat your business or treat your finances, because literally when our kids are little, everything is about them. Right? Spending money on them, providing the best Christmases, providing the best vacations, right? Like we don't realize it, but that's really what we're doing. And then your kids leave and you're like, all right, so I guess now it's about time for me to get serious about what I got to do for me, right? And so a lot of people are realizing, right, that starting an online business is not a luxury. And for those that don't realize it, I really hope that this content today can help you. Like I said, if anything, not beat you up, but just to provide awareness, because you can only imagine the conversations that I have, with people. And I just know that some people did not prepare for where they are in life right now. And so that's how I know like these things are just not a luxury. Hey, Brian, I see you. Yeah, Brian's the one that triggered this conversation today. So, and here's the thing, and I'll share this. I don't think he cares. Brian is a fireman. And he actually, he can retire if he wanted to right now. And if you don't know anything about firemen, firefighters, I don't know what they like to be called, but firefighters, their retirements are like bomb diggity. Like out of all the retirements that are out there, their retirement is like bomb diggity. And from my knowledge, they're one of the very few industries where when you retire, you still get raises through retirement. However, there's something more that he wants to do, right? And so he has a goal, and he also has a passion for wanting to help other, right, people that are in career fields like his, realize that sometimes you can look up and realize you don't have all that you want, and or your retirement's not going to be right the way you thought it was going to be maybe some 20, 30 years ago. All right. These are the conversations I want to have a lot more, because put some fire under some of our butts, right, to begin to pursue this in a different way versus this, luxury. All right. So the first thing I want you to consider, right, when I think about deciding to grow an online business because it's no longer a luxury, is number one, retirements are not what they used to be. Depending upon when you entered the workspace, right, and or what you chose to do, retirements are not what they used to be, when I'm 49 years old. So when my mom was coming up and, so forth, right? It's just not what it used to be. And so many people are electing not to even contribute to their retirement funds, right, while they're working. And if you are anything like I was a nurse. And I was telling Brian earlier, my husband, he's one of the fortunate nurses because he works in the health, he works in the VA, right? So he works as a part of the government system. So he got his retirement set up when he first entered, right, the VA system. When I was a nurse, I was working private sector, right? I was working for the Masonics. And so I didn't have retirement. And had I not decided to leave nursing, I likely would have stayed where I was because it was cush. It was like creme of the creme when it came to nursing, right? It was right up my alley. But had I decided to not set aside retirement, I could have been someone looking up, and I'm gonna be so real with you guys in just a moment. I could have been looking up, approaching wanting to retire, knowing that I'm not even set up to retire, right? So for a lot of people, retirement isn't what it used to be. Many people are not even looking forward to retirement because it literally means nothing outside of an age of readiness, right? To leave for one reason or another. Let me know if I'm talking real right here. All right. Number two, people are retiring unprepared, right? So that kind of like piggybacks off of the last. People are retiring unprepared because the only thing that really has prepared them for retirement is the fact that I'm old and I'm too old to keep doing what it is that I'm doing. But financially, they're not prepared to retire, right? They're retiring, right? Again, because like their bones are just aching, right? Or maybe because they're even being forced out because of their age. And depending upon what you do, sometimes that can be the reality. So again, right, deciding to grow an online business is no longer a luxury. I've had too many conversations, right? I know the inside scoop on too many people's situations, and it's just really, really unfortunate. And I'm just not going to show up any longer making this seem like it's just something that is a luxury. Again, only if, like, as an example, my husband has no desire to have an online business. So I'm not talking to someone like my husband. I'm not talking to someone that, is set or is doing what they want to do, right? I'm talking to someone that you're actually on the internet. You're actually investing your time searching. You're actually investing money into things. You're actually contemplating giving this a go, right? Maybe you're on the outside looking in. I'm just saying, like, if this is what you want to do, you can't approach it as this luxury, right? That you are going to dibble and dabble in because time is going to go by anyways. Instead, for a lot of people, like, it is their gotta, right? It's like, I gotta make this work, right? Because this is my retirement, or this is going to add to my retirement, right? And I think I have this built in. I was going to say it now because it feels like it flows, right? So I talked about, had I stayed a nurse, right? I didn't have retirement. I would have had to have gone out of my way, right, to elect for retirement, which a lot of people simply don't do. Well, y'all, do you understand that I've been online for 16 years? And again, because much of my business was while my kids were little, I was more focused on the flex. I was more focused on, let's go on cruises every single year and let's have really great vacations and let's just blow away money. Like that's the way I handled my business funds, right? Again, as a family, that's what I decided to do, set aside no retirement for myself. So I wake up as well, right? And I'm like, at 49, I've done well. That's great. For people on the outside looking in, yes, like I've been able to make money that a lot of people would like to make as an entrepreneur, right? But to also know that long-term wise, retirement wise, like I haven't had my own back, right? It's crazy. My husband and I always joke. He always says, well, I'm going to eat what you going to eat in retirement. It's a joke, but at the same time, it's no laughing matter. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny because I know him and I, right? But at the same time, it's no laughing matter. And there are a lot of people that will, again, they'll build this thing as a luxury and they'll look up, they're like, and I haven't saved a dime over X amount of years. So a lot of for you guys that know me, a lot of the sense of urgency and like when I'm like in your face and I'm like, you gotta figure this out and it's because it's just, I know for you, it likely isn't a luxury. You don't have time to sit here and dilly-dally, monkey around, fart around with this thing. Like, you got to get really, really serious about it, right? And so a lot of people are in my position, right, where they have made money online and they are not prepared for retirement. And you can honestly see it a lot in people's marketing and in the things that they do, right? Like, they are scurrying because they realize, wait a second, time got away from me. So again, when I first got started, it was all about the flex, having a lot of money to do what we wanted to do as a family, right? And me not preparing. And now it's about, oh, wow, right? Like, I'm in that group of people that I'm not prepared to retire. So when I talk about $1 million in the next 12 months, that is not a luxury million. That is not just because I want to flex and say I've earned $1 million in a year in my online business. Y'all let me know if this is too much truth for you. All right. It is literally because I want to eat in retirement. I want to eat in retirement and I want to be a contribution to our retirement, right? And to be able to do it exactly the way that we want to do it. Y'all, I'm only sharing this because if you get caught up in all the wrong things online, it'll it'll just set you up for a failure. You won't understand the gravity of why you've got to treat this seriously, like why you've got to invest in the things that you've got to invest in to give yourself like a fighting chance of success. You don't have time to go and watch a gazillion YouTube videos and then try to figure out how to put it all together. You don't have time to throw away money on fake mentors, on fake coaches, on fake opportunities. You don't have a lot of time to get it wrong, is really what I'm saying. And that's how I look at every decision I make. It's like, I don't have a day to get this wrong. I don't have a day to not show up. I don't have a day to do the things that I know I got to do, right, that are actually going to grow my fortunes. And the thing is, please understand, it's not too late for any of us, right? It's not too late for any of us. We simply each have to decide. That's all that I did, is I decided, right? And yes, even in a pivot, right? So like this year, a lot of you guys that are in my community, my world, I pivoted, right, from a coaching style business to a more evergreen digital style business, right, where I sell digital products. I sell digital courses that I can sell 24/7, 365. So I don't have to trade so much of my time, right, for actual money. And I don't have a business that's reliant upon chasing clients. Right. It's a very, very beautiful thing. And through what I do, I inspire other people to get started on this path as well. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right. The next thing is that people are also choosing not to retire. Like they're delaying their retirement because they realize, wait a second, like 2023 or, 62 or 63 or 59, like whatever your retirement age is, you're realizing, wait a second, this is not what it was supposed to look like. Like maybe 2024, 2025, like was your year for retirement. And as it's approaching, you're like, holy crap, this is not what it was supposed to look like. It was supposed to look so different. And so what do? If you can, right, you delay it, you push it out, right? Because you're simply just not prepared, right? And so people are choosing, right, not to retire unless they're pushed out of their actual professions and or jobs, right? So again, another reason why deciding to grow an online business is simply not a luxury. Like this is one way where you can decide to have your back. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. That's why I do what I do, because I want you to equip yourself with everything that you need going into it, and to know that when you devote your time, energy, and your finances, that you are investing into the right things. You're putting your time into the right thing, your energy into the right things, your money into the right things, because I know none of us have any of those things, right, to give away. I don't have time to give away. I certainly don't have the energy to give away. Right. And I do not have the energy or the money just to throw it around hoping things will work. So I really fight hard with what it is that I do to get my message across to people, that if you want to build an online business as a luxury, like I'm here for you and I can still help you with the steps, because even as a luxury, you got to know what to do. But if you're like, no, Steph, I've been out here watching because this is a gotta, like I got to get this right. Right. I'm here for you, right, to help you make the best moves, right, with the least amount of energy, the least amount of time, right, and the least amount of financial outlay. Because if you get it wrong, right, it ends up you're getting it wrong. And in most instances, you're either spending a lot more money, you're spending and throwing away a lot more of your time because you're in all the wrong places, and you're zapping your energy. All right. Failure, frustration, right? Losing is an energy zapper. And it's hard to get up every single day knowing you're losing, knowing you're frustrated, knowing you don't have the answers, knowing you don't have a step, you don't have a plan. It's hard to get up every single day under those conditions, right? And to decide to get out there and to do this thing, right? I know this is real talk, y'all, but I'm telling you, more people need to hear this, right? Number 4. All right. People are retiring, yet still working until their golden years, right? So they may retire from whatever their profession or their career is. And we've all seen it, right? At Walmart, or, doing janitorial style work, or finding their way into something, right? Back in the day, we used to be convinced that a lot of these people did it because they're so accustomed to working, right? And they just love being out and about around people, that they decided to still do that because they were bored. But I think we all can honestly say that the majority of people do it now, right? Because it's a gotta. They retired, right? And they gotta supplement their income some way, somehow. And it's really, really unfortunate. I'm not judging or anything, but these are the facts and they're all around us. So if you're someone, regardless of your age, what I'll tell you is everything is a habit. So if you're like in your 30s right now and you're like, my kids are little, I got plenty of time. That attitude is a habit. And you will likely look up, right, sitting at your kid's graduation saying, crap, I'm in the exact same situation I was when little Timmy was in kindergarten, right? Because that attitude, believe it or not, I've got more time, it becomes habitual. You keep saying it. I look at my kids' pictures when they were little and I was like, wow, where did the time literally go? Like, we know where it went, but that feeling of, geez, like I could have accomplished so much more had I really understood this is what it would feel like, right, to know that I could have accomplished more. So I know it's really, really hard for me to step into your shoes, but I am just hoping that this message like lands for you and hits for you, right? And if anything, just gets you to sit in maybe some solitude and really think about like why you're going into, right, growing an online business. Why do you want to learn how to make money online, right? And the gravity of your situation if you don't get it going versus if you do get it going, right? So the question is, where are you right now? Right? Where are you right now? I spoke about right where I am right now. And the reason I have no qualms, because if you were to go out there and survey 100 online entrepreneurs, you're going to likely hear the same story. You're going to likely hear the same story. They did it. They replaced their income. They started making money. They started living the life, and they didn't think about retirement. Or they thought, you know what, I'm going to have one or two really, really good years and bam, I'll just, I'll fund my retirement with that. It's just not the way it works, right? So deciding to grow an online business, again, not a luxury. It's no longer a luxury. It is a gotta for many of us that are deciding that this is the way of life for us. Like, this is the way of life for me. I'm not going to go and do something else. This is the way of life. Therefore, for me, it is not a luxury. That's why I do the things that I do on a daily basis. All right. So let's talk about what it actually takes if you do want to treat growing your online business seriously. All right. Hey, Elena. Hello, Shantae. Hello, guys. Let's talk about what it takes, right? Grab a notebook. If you're like, no, Steph, I understand the gravity in all of this. Right? And you're ready to take your online business seriously. You're ready to invest your time properly. You're ready to invest your energy properly. And you're ready to invest your hard-earned money properly as well. Yes, I said it. All right. Because nobody rides for free. Right. My girl Jen Sincero says it in her book. You are a badass at making money. Nobody rides for free. Nobody. All right. There is a price for everything. There's a price and a price tag for the success that you desire. So if it's like solidifying and locking down your retirement funds, there's a price for that, right? Why should we have a different road from people that have worked 30 years and contributed a share of their checks, every single check, towards their retirement? Why should our road be any different, right? There is a price for it. You got to pay for it. But on the flip, there's always a price. There is always a cost, right, for doing or not doing. So deciding not to invest, let me tell you something. I get the emails a lot, right? The cost for failure, the cost of losing, the cost of not winning, the cost of putting out tons of content and not getting anywhere. There is a cost to that. And what I will tell you, the cost, the investment is way less, right? When you get access to the right things that are giving you instructions and guidance and even mentorship to help you in shortening your learning curve. Oftentimes, shortening your learning curve and getting exact, precise instructions, right, is the difference between drawing out your earning curve or shortening your earning curve. It's a difference maker. All right. So there's a cost to everything. All right. In my opinion, I believe I have the easy button. This is why I share it every single day. And I do believe that it will shorten your learning and both your earning curve. I've had this conversation with quite a few people, and I'm one of the rare people that will admit it. Success is not linear. Like, I wish it was like just straight path to success, but it's not. I've been online for 16 years and I am learning new things about content and about YouTube that wasn't true just a couple of years ago. right? YouTube decides they've got to switch up their algorithm and their game because of TikTok and Instagram and because of the behaviors of viewers. So what does that mean for us? That we've got to learn and adapt to the new way that YouTube is doing business. And so again, deciding to go out there by yourself and think you're going to figure this thing out, it's no wonder why so many people are like failing because they don't get it. In this instance, a lot of people don't take the time to learn what I've learned about YouTube, right? And so they keep trying to do the old outdated things. The old outdated things don't work, right? So again, we don't have time to get this wrong. It's curvy and bumpy enough, right? Let's lock down, right, some foundation, some fundamentals that we can hold on to that will give us a greater chance of laying a strong foundation and building layers towards our success. And I will tell you, the courses that I offer in my business right now, even in 16 years of experience, they've helped me like mature in my own business. They've helped me look at success completely different. They've helped me like slow down so that I could speed up in areas. Like they really made me like look at what I've been doing and asking myself, how long are you going to keep doing it this way when it's 2023 and there's a different way? That's why I get so excited to share these courses with other people, because it's not just about having a master resale rights license to sell it as your own. That is such a great benefit. And for someone like me, where that's where I am in my business, I don't want to create courses right now. I don't want to create digital products right now. I wanted, like literally when I decided to pivot, I wanted to find something that I could just really stand behind and get out there and promote every single day and set myself up in such a way to be able to make money from it forever. I've done the coaching route. I have a library of digital products that I've created, right? I've launched, I've live launched, I've done week-long workshops, I've done webinars, I've done all of that stuff, right? So I know I'm not missing anything for my business. I literally wanted an easier way. And this is what I found, right? When I first came upon the roadmap, right? And then later added another course with master resale rights to my repertoire as well, right? As I wanted an easier approach. And I just happened to luck up on a really great resource that's not just about buying it to sell it, but this teaches people. And like I said, in 16 years, right, with all of my experience, this has like made me better in so many ways. Like I can't even really describe it. You know how they always say when the student is ready, the teacher appears? Like that's what I feel like these courses were, is because what I needed at this point to take my journey and my business more seriously, I found it within these courses, and I found it within the women, right, that are behind the actual courses. And literally, I thank God every single day that they had the idea to put such courses together with the licenses that they have for people just like me. Like seriously, I thank God for them every day. I thank God that I was open-minded enough, right, to know like this is helpful to me. This is an asset to me. This is meant to lighten my load and to help a lot of people in the process, right? If you're out there, like, let me know if you are getting this, all right? So let's talk about what it takes, right, to decide to treat your online business or your online money-making endeavors like not as a luxury, but to start treating it seriously so that you could start seriously growing your individual bank accounts. All right. The first thing is you have to get the knowledge. You have to get the knowledge, and you've got to develop the skills. Online now, it's not the way it used to be. You can't just throw spaghetti against the wall and have people buying at just links that are out there. People are buying from personalities. They are buying from brands. They are buying from people that are knowledgeable. They're buying from real people that inspire them, right? And so you've got to actually learn how to position yourself in the marketplace. You've got to learn two important things: digital marketing, and you've got to understand and learn the business of online business. Those things are going to help you get positioned in such a way where you're a viable option. You're a logical choice for people to actually buy from you. And it doesn't matter what you're selling, right? You've got to learn digital marketing, because unless you're going to hire that stuff out, you are the digital marketer in your business, right? You've got to decide to become a student of this actual industry if you're going to treat it seriously. That's why with what I do, I have my mentorship element, because I know, right, that I don't just rely upon my 16 years of experience, but those that know me, they know I'm a student. They know I stay up on what's working, what's not working. And they know, like, I share my real-time journey with them into things I'm learning, what's working well in my business, what's no longer working, right, to help them stay up on what's going on in the industry as well. So the first step is you've got to decide to get the knowledge and to decide to develop the skills. You guys, over my 16 years, I'm so amazed at how many people I've coached and mentored who just decided not to learn tech, or they didn't treat their journey seriously, or they decided not to learn email marketing, or they allowed the tech to get in their way. Again, it's no longer a luxury. This knowledge, these skills, they're not a luxury if you want to make money online, right? You've got to learn these things and you've got to develop these skills. And then you've got to decide to stay a student, right? Because you want to hone these skills and you eventually want to reach a place of mastery, whatever that means. And the way that I look at mastery is like the things that you're doing, right? That they're working exceptionally well and they're creating paydays for yourself. That's how I look at mastery. All right. And when they start creating paydays, right, you reach another level of mastery and now they're paying you even more. All right. So first step is knowledge and skills. Okay. The second thing, okay, so you want to make sure that you develop or that you decide upon a niche. I did not take this seriously, you guys, for so many years. I would always just say, oh, my ideal person is the person that wants to make money. Or my ideal person is the woman that wants to take her knowledge and turn it into a digital product, right? I was always so broad. And I guess I just believed I was that good to appeal to anybody that was out there. And what I've realized is that, first off, these platforms, they don't like that very much. They want like your channel and or your account to really be about a niche. They want to know what it is that you're talking about so they know who to push your content out to. If you want to treat this seriously, you want to really, really figure out, right, what group of people you are focused on helping, right, and where they are on their journey. Write that down. Like, I'm giving you so much free game right now. Because this is not a luxury. You've got to get these things. And when I share these things that you need, you're going to realize you're going to find a very, very hard time going out on YouTube, picking up all these things in an organized way so that you can actually put them together, right, and have a real fair fighting chance of going out there and creating, a $10,000 a month business for yourself. It's going to be very, very difficult, right, for you to be able to do it at scale, trying to figure it all out. All right. So you got to pick your niche. Like, you got to buckle down and you got to pick your niche. And that's what we are focused so heavily on, right, in my mentorship hub right now. Because it's like where most people are struggling is that they're not niched down enough. Like, they just haven't specified. When you specify, people can hear you loud and clear. And they're like, yes, girl, I hear you. Right. And guess what? You become the logical choice to buy from. Right? Or to join, or whatever it is that you're doing, you just become the logical choice because they can feel that you're talking directly to them. All right. The third thing you've got to do, right, is you got to pick your product or your product suite and you got to make it simple. Right? I say make it as simple as possible. Like, I'm not even joking with this. Depending upon your age, depending upon how much time you have, and depending upon your passion and your unique skills, what I would tell you, right, is to do something that is already set up, that's done for you, and that you literally can just get in, right? Set up. The next step is automations, right? Set your simple system up and be ready, like, to hit the ground talking to your market of people, right? There's no need nowadays to have to rely upon going out there and building something from scratch if you don't want to. You don't have to go out there and game plan something that's going to take you months and months and months and months. You don't have to go out there and do all of this market research that's going to take you months and months and months and months, right? Like, there is a better way. That's the way that I found for myself. It's the way that's helping a lot of other people as well. And it's the way that so many women, right, have jumped online and created, 5-figure a month incomes for themselves in the matter of just a couple of months. Some women have even gone on to do millions, right, in less than a year's time. One of the courses that I sell, she walks you through her process of turning digital products into $500,000 in 5 months' time. Do you see why I've been made better because of these courses? Right? Like, it is okay to admit I missed the mark somewhere. Right? And to decide to learn from people, right, that have gotten it, that get it. Right? We've literally simplified And to me, deciding to choose something that's like set up for you, or someone saying, here, I created this product, you can go out there and sell it as your own, to me, it's just smart, right? It allows you to simplify the process of getting started and set up for online business success, all right? But even if you take that part out of it, you've got to decide on your product or your product suite that's going to serve your actual niche. Do you see why it's so important to know your niche and to know who you're serving within that niche? Because how can you choose product or products that they're going to want to buy if you don't know who they are? Again, it's an instance of just joining something or investing into something because you hear a lot of people are making money in it, but you don't even know who you're trying to sell it to, which equals, right, a frustrated business owner, right? Someone that's not winning, someone that's not figuring it out. The likelihood is you'll end up bowing out right long before you give yourself a fighting chance of actually making some money. That's why these steps are like just non-negotiable, right? And again, this is my, right now, like my life's work inside of my mentorship hub, because a lot of people, they'll hear this, but they won't take the time to really, really do this, right? So that they can actually begin to experience the gains from doing this kind of work, right? But again, if you've decided that growing your online business is not a luxury and that you've got to get it right, these are the things that you've got to consider, right? After you decide on your product or your product suite, and even if you choose to operate a business like I do, where you are selling a course that someone else has created and giving you the license to sell it as your own, you still have to set up simple automation. Why do you want to do this? And why, if you're in your later years of life, you're like, Steph, don't tell me I got to learn tech. Yes, you do, boo-boo. Because no matter what your life is like right now, unless you want to live in the DMs, unless you want everybody to call you for a consult, unless you want to be working one-to-one with people, you want to set your business up in such a way where people can inquire, where they can get the information, and where they can buy from you 24/7, 365. Right? And if you are verging upon retirement, you want to set up a business where while you're working your traditional job, people can inquire, they can request information, they can consume the information, right, of your product, and they can buy from you while you're at your job, while you're sleeping, whatever the case may be. Automations allow you to be able to collaborate with technology. All right. So the technology is working alongside of you to do so much of the heavy lifting. Think of it as you set it up like one time and then it fires off every single time somebody wants more information and or they're ready to buy, right? Brilliant. Even though when I got started, I was just learning automation, it's automation that allowed me to go to work as a nurse and to come home to hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars that was made in my business, right, while I was at work. And I operated a similar business model where when people bought, they paid me directly. So I was literally coming home to cash. In a lot of instances, I would stop at the ATM and take my money out of PayPal with my PayPal business card via PayPal. Y'all think about that for a second. Think about that. That's the world that we operate in right now. Right? And this was way back in 2007 and 2008 and 2009. Right? So you want to set up your simple automations so that your business can run 24/7, 365. All right? Next thing you want to do is you want to pick a platform. So again, we're talking about deciding to grow. We're not talking about starting an online business at this point. I'm speaking to the person that wants to grow. You want to start and you want to grow. The two things are entirely different. Many people start, right? Very few finish. So we're talking about growing so that you can be a finisher. All right. The next thing you want to do is pick your platform. Okay. I chose YouTube many years ago because it's the platform that inspired me to get started on this journey. I believed I could do what I saw other people doing. And so what worked on me, I decided I was going to allow it to work for me. And so I decided to learn the ways of YouTube. And it's where I made my very first sale. It's where I made 28 sales in my first 30 days. It's where I had my first $2,000 day, my first $1,800 week, like so many milestones, right? And it's where I experienced my first six-figure year. It's where I've made the majority of my sales in business over these 16 years is from YouTube. So that's my platform. But there's others you can choose from: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn. You're going to want to choose one platform. All right. This is your platform for marketing. So much like you would go out and buy a billboard sign, right, for a brick and mortar business, or, any other costly advertisement you could do for a brick and mortar business, right? Like that's your way of putting your business on notice that, hey, we're here, right? Well, when you choose a platform, that's your way of telling people I'm here to serve you. That's why your niche is important, making sure you know who you're serving in that niche, right? Because you're using that platform to actually speak to them and call them in. Let me know if this is helpful, right? Without the dynamics firing off like that and working synergistically like that, you just end up having like a mess of a business, right? So all those things need to fire off together and work synergistically, right? So that as you're showing up, your business is actually growing every single time you decide to put out new content, right? Again, I'm sharing this with you because it's just so important. This is not a luxury. And so if you're out there dibbling in this right now and you haven't considered these things, like your business is not running by these things, right? It's a huge detriment to your success. You're not headed in the right direction if you're not strong on these things. This is literally what it takes, all right? Pick a platform. Now on that platform, you're then gonna decide, right, to show up daily. Please write that down. That's so important, right? Show up daily. Okay. We are no longer in the day and age where you can just jump on your platform one day out of the week and that be enough. You're going to show up daily on that platform to do two things: serving, which is what I'm doing now, and selling, right? So I talked about the course that I sell. And in a minute, I'm going to give you a call to action for you to actually go check it out and even buy it if the time is now, right, for you to get this information and to lock in. So every single day, in some way, right, I show up on YouTube, right, serving my niche and the people I've chosen within that niche, which are people that want to learn how to start making money online and or get off the struggle bus of making money online. I equip them, right, with the knowledge. I give them access to the skills that are necessary, the information, right, and I help them in getting started. Right? So that's who I serve. So on a daily basis, I show up to serve those people and to sell to those people. Make no bones about it. I'm not on YouTube for free. Yes, I serve for free, but there is always a call to action. And that's where we make our money. All right. So once you pick your platform, right, part of your learning from the very first step is you're also going to learn your platform. So in one of the courses that I recommend, right, you learn all of the platforms. Right? You learn YouTube, you learn Instagram, you learn Pinterest, you learn TikTok, you learn Facebook. So if you know nothing about the platforms, right, you can decide to go ahead and learn all the platforms and then choose the platform that you believe works the best for you, right? And then you can actually dive a little bit deeper into the training and learn how to actually show up on the platform on a daily basis, right? Creating the right kind of content to serve and to actually sell. Do you see why getting your hands on the training is so important? So important, right? And then again, right now as a bonus, right? Doesn't matter which of the two courses you get started with, you get my mentorship for all of 2024 for free, comped, right? Crazy. I'm serious, crazy. Like you could have been a part of our training session last night. You would realize how crazy it is. All right. My mentorship is designed for mastery. It's designed for me showing you like what's working in my business and helping you reach a deeper level of understanding and results and success and what it is that you're doing. All right. Courses are fantastic, but mentorship, literally being locked in and connected with someone else or other people, right? Like that's really where the money is. Why? Because business is not linear. Success is not linear. There's curbs and there's bumps, right? And if your mentor is winning, don't you want to know how they're winning? Or do you only want to buy a course from them and then never know how they are actually winning, right? That's why I do the mentorship, to give a lot of my added expertise to help people, right? And again, honing and mastering, all right? And then finally, this is what I'm going to say, because again, what do we talk about all live long? Deciding to grow an online business is no longer a luxury, okay? It's no longer a luxury. So the final step is set a goal of 10K a month, solid. Not just we hit it and now we don't know how in the heck to, hit it again. No. Okay? We want to set a goal of $10,000 a month solid in your first 6 months. Not even playing around with this. We're not even playing around. if it doesn't need to take 12 months, why do we instantly tell ourselves, right, that whatever our goal is, it's got to take us all of 2024 or it's got to take us all of the next 12 months? Why can't we just simply set a goal and saying, like my birthday's in March. Okay, by March, I'm going to be a millionaire. Like, why can't I say that? Yes, it's uncomfortable as all get out, but why can't I say that and then just put the plan together and work it? Absolutely, I can. There are already people that have done that, right? So like, I actually have examples of people that have done that, right? So you don't want to just go into, again, like putting the work in, like all of these things are important, but where are you going with all of this? Again, if we understand this is not a luxury and we're doing it as a gotta, right? What's that gotta? You might as well put a number behind the gotta so that you are reminded every single day why you are doing all of this stuff. When you're diving into the training, you're reminded, right? When you're doing that live or you're doing that reel or you're uploading that piece of content, you're reminded of a gotta, right? And you remind yourself every single day that you're actually inching closer, right? Or you're scooting closer or leaping closer, right? With every single decision, right? Or choice that you make in your business for that day, knowing, right, that it's leaping you closer. It's getting you actually closer. All right. I really hope like this has been able to help you, right? Again, I was so triggered. I was so disturbed by our conversation because the conversations I have, right, knowing where people are, right? I just think it's important for more people to know this is just not a luxury. It's not a luxury. We've got to look at this as a gotta, like if the situations I talked about today, like totally fit you. All right. So the courses I recommend you can find down below in the description and Make Money Online with Steph.com. All right. You'll find 2 courses that are there. Feel free to check them both out. The course I highly recommend. It's going to teach you everything you need to know about digital marketing and the business of online business. And it's going to help you get set up for online business success, right? You'll have your automation set up. You'll have your product that you're going to sell, whether that's something you want to promote of your own, or whether you want to turn right back around and make life easy like I'm doing. Maybe your niche is similar to my niche and you want to sell this course as your own. We get you all set up, right? With your payment processors, with your fulfillment, everything that you need. We have the share codes. I have added share codes in my mentorship hub. You get it all. Everything you need to know about getting set up for online business success and taking daily action to grow this thing, right, can be found within the first course on my page, which is the roadmap. Right, which is the roadmap. And the second course is Passive Profit Millionaire. And that is basically a walkthrough. I love that course. It is a walkthrough from a lady who did $500,000 in 5 months time selling her own digital products. So she actually walks you through exactly how she did it, how you create digital products, how you establish a niche for your digital products, how you put the digital products together, teaches you how to use Canva if you're not, familiar with that, and then teaches you how to get out there on the socials, right? Like TikTok and Instagram, and how to craft content designed to sell your digital products directly from social media. So it's the less techie approach, right? Like you're not going to learn about building funnels. Instead, you're learning more about how to take like the Stan store approach or a very, very simple digital store approach, right? And learning how to socially sell your digital products. Both courses come with master resale rights. All right. So you're given a license to sell both courses as your own. So even if you want to create your own digital products, right, you can create your own digital products, sell your own digital products, and also sell the courses to people that want to learn how to do what you did. And maybe you don't want to venture into the coaching space. You don't want a bunch of clients, but you want to be able to make $500 and $340, right, day after day after day, selling these courses, right, to other people that want to know what it is that you know. And that's why I sell these courses. Is in my 16 years, it took me quite a few years to piecemeal my education, my knowledge, and my skill set together. Within these courses, you get it all organized, ready for you to dive into. And there's really continuity and confidence in the information you're going through. Systematic, it's orderly, and it's going to help you get exactly what you want to get out of your business and build the business that you desire. And then on top of that, when you take action now, you also get my mentorship hub and support community, right, for free for all of 2024. All right, starting in January, there will be an additional cost for my mentorship community. All right. So, like, as an example, part of my support community is I do live office hours on Tuesday, where I open up my Zoom room and I'm there for questions and feedback and guidance. And that's every Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's something you get to look forward to, right? If you've been getting what you need, right, to take your business, to the next level. All right. Or just to get a really solid start and to know you're not in business all by yourself. All right. So I really hope like this has been insightful. I hope it's inspired you. I hope it gets you to really sit down and process where you are in your life right now and whether or not you're treating this endeavor as a luxury or whether you're treating this as a gotta. All right. You got to make decisions differently if this is a gotta, right? And again, for a lot of us, this just isn't a luxury. This isn't about flaunting our vacations or our cars or screenshotting our income. It very much so is about financial peace of mind and learning how to build that for yourself. All right. So go to makemoneyonlinewithsteph.com. The link is right down below in the description. Click on it, get all the information in your hands and take action. And tonight I'm actually doing a live orientation for all of my members. So it'll be a really great way for you to jump right in, right? Hang out with me tonight, get any questions answered that you have and get a really fast start and acclimated, right, to putting this all together for you. All right. Have a fantastic day. If you're newer to my world, make sure you subscribe and click on notifications because every day I can be found on YouTube, whether I'm going live, whether I have a new upload, or whether I've done a short for the day. All right. I appreciate you. And I really, really hope that I can be a guide and or a mentor on your journey. All right. Have a fantastic day. I will see you in my next video and cannot wait to connect with you. Bye-bye.